I was 10 years old when my parents told our neighbor to watch me until dinner and never came back. 19 years later, they found out where I work and wanted to reconnect. The last thing my mother said to me was that she needed to run to the store for milk. I stood on Mrs. Delgado's porch clutching my school bag, watching their car pull away. That was November 2006. They never came back. Mrs. Delgado waited until 9 p.m. to call the police. She kept saying my parents would return any minute. She made me a sandwich and let me watch cartoons while she paced by the window. By midnight, the police told us what no one wanted to say. My parents had packed up our apartment that day. They had planned this. I was 10 years old, tossed aside like old furniture that didn't fit in the truck. Every birthday after that, I sat by the window hoping their car would pull up. I blew out candles wishing for the same thing year after year. Every Christmas morning, I ran downstairs thinking maybe this year they remembered me. Every school recognition day, I scanned the crowd looking for their faces while other kids ran into their parents' arms. When I graduated 8th grade with honors, I saved 2 seats in the front row. They stayed empty. I stopped hoping by 14. The little girl waiting by the window finally accepted no one was coming. Mrs. Delgado was 67 on Social Security and now stuck with a child that wasn't hers. The state wanted me in foster care. She fought them for 8 months. She spent her savings on lawyers. She ate oatmeal for dinner so I could have real meals. This woman who barely knew me chose me when my own blood didn't. I worked 3 jobs in high school. I got a full ride to college. I finished top of my pre-med class. I survived medical school with 4 hours of sleep and pure determination. Mrs. Delgado sat in the front row at my graduation, crying and clapping the loudest. Every win was built on what she gave me. She died during my residency. Stroke. I held her hand and told her she was my real mother. She smiled and called me her miracle girl. I carry her with me every single day. I became a cardiologist. I bought a house, made real friends, found peace. I never searched for my parents. They made their choice. Then last month, everything shifted. My front desk called during rounds. There's a woman here claiming to be your mother. She's crying and won't leave. My hands went cold. I walked to the lobby and there she was. Older, grayer, fragile. My father stood beside her looking worn down by life. My baby girl, we finally found you. Against my better judgment, I gave them a chance. We exchanged numbers. We met for coffee twice a week. My mother cried about regret and sleepless nights. My father talked about how young and scared they were back then. They said they thought about me every single day. Part of me, that 10-year-old girl still waiting by the window, wanted to believe them. Maybe people really could change. For 2 months, I let them in. I answered their calls. I visited their small apartment. I bought groceries when their fridge looked empty. I paid for my father's medication when he mentioned he couldn't afford it. I thought maybe this was real. Maybe I finally got my family back. Then the cracks started showing. My mother asked if I could help with their car payment. Just this once, baby. My father wondered if I had connections at the hospital for his back pain. Free consultations, maybe. Every visit came with a new request wrapped in guilt and tears. The calls that used to ask how my day went now started with money problems. The final satisfying straw came 3 weeks ago. My mother sat me down and asked me to co-sign a loan for them. When I hesitated, her whole tone changed completely. After everything we went through to find you, this is how you repay us? We're your parents. You owe us for giving you life. I sat frozen. 19 years of silence. No call on my birthdays, no card at graduation, nothing when I got into medical school. But now that their throwaway daughter became something valuable, suddenly family mattered. I kept my voice steady. Where were you when I was 11 with pneumonia and Mrs. Delgado carried me through snow to the clinic? Where were you when I was 14 crying myself to sleep? Where were you when I walked across the stage and searched the crowd one last time hoping you'd be there? Silence. Just tears and weak excuses about hard times. I pulled out a photo from my wallet. Mrs. Delgado and I at my white coat ceremony. Her face was full of pride. This woman gave me everything. You gave me trauma and abandonment. I spent years in therapy learning I wasn't broken. You were. I owe you nothing. My mother's face twisted with anger. We're struggling. Family helps family. I stood up calmly. Family does help family. Mrs. Delgado taught me that. You taught me that some people never earn that title. Lose my number. Don't visit my workplace. We're done. I walked out and never looked back. Some wounds don't close with apologies.